client's name here in the upper left. Now there are two sections in here designed for two different things, and these sections can be added to from anywhere in the program. You can do it by going to the client's file, clicking the green button for the upper or lower half, and you'll see that it will actually know the client you're doing this for. The upper section is for things like missing information and questions that need to be answered. Now, if I want to do a missing information from anywhere else in the program, if you'll divert your attention to the bottom right-hand portion of the screen, there is a big blue circle with a question mark in it, and also beside that a phone icon. The blue circle allows me to add to the upper half from anywhere, but you'll notice I have to tell it which client it's for because it's not right on their file. The phone icon in the lower half is the same thing as the green button for the lower section, and beside those icons are ones with notepads, which actually allow you to run searches for the upper or lower section from also anywhere else in the program. Now let's say I have a question. So what I can do here is I'm going to open up the question mode. I'm going to call it test. And I'm going to assign this question to Bobby, because maybe Bobby is much better at answering this question than I myself will ever be, or I could just be really busy and I need a hand. So I'm going to say, this is what I need you to find out for me. Now, it's possible that maybe I've notified the client in some way, so I may have left them a voicemail, in which case I would just click that I've notified them. Or I may have hit send notification at the bottom and chosen the email option, which will actually retype out the question for me, put in the client's email, and a nice little blurb here that says, we appreciate this back in a timely manner. Thank you from your company name at the bottom. When you hit finish, it will actually use your default email program to get that sent out to the client. You can't actually send emails from ClientTrack as of yet. Now, as the person leaving the question, this is pretty much all I really need to do in terms of the information on here. As you can see, there are some customizable fields in case you do want to put anything extra in here. I don't have a most solid example because generally the most information or the majority of information you're going to put in here is in the question itself. So I'm going to click OK, and this will save to the client's file, as you can see. Now, Bobby's currently logged in. On his screen in the bottom right-hand corner, just above where your time is there, he's going to get a pop-up immediately to let him know that this question was just assigned to him. If he has not been logged in the program when this was assigned to him, also there are, like I said, two search functions, one for each different section. And in the lower right-hand portion, they are the little icons with the notepads. Or in the actual More Info tab itself, there's an advanced form for each of the sections here. And these will come up when you first log in, and their default design, especially when you open them up any time that you prefer, they will show you all of the items that are assigned to your name in this fashion that have not been resolved yet. And these will come up every time you log into the program, providing you have unresolved issues, so that they will keep basically bothering you until you've taken care of the items. So on Bobby's screen, I'm just going to do a quick little search here for the upper one to show what it would look like for that one item. So here's the one item he would see. Now, if he wants to go to that client's file, you can see here I've switched in the background to the trucking company. From the list here in the More Info tab, or this More Info window, I can click the client's name, and it will go to the right client's file. But that's just if you want to go to their file. You don't actually have to if you want to see the information of this question. I can simply just scroll over to the right, view the information from here instead, and then I can get on with my answer. So let's just pretend for a second that we're logged in as Bobby. We're going to go, here is the answer you needed from me. Now also you'll find there are date stamps in here too, so if he wants to, he can put a date stamp in before that, which will take today's date, year, time, and the person logged in entering this response, and then they can fill out their details at that point. Now Bobby could say, okay, I've answered your items here. Because I'm logged in as Adam, it's showing Adam, but it would fill out today's date and the fact that it was Bobby's name. I've entered any information he needed me to enter. And now Bobby's going to make one final decision. He's either going to click Resolved, which will fill out the date and his name, or he's going to leave the Resolve checkbox blank. And he's going to just tell the program that he's finished these things, but while it's still unresolved, he can actually reassign it back to Adam's name. And what he's doing is, instead of just finalizing it on the client's file, he's going to use the pop-up system in the program to now make Adam aware that this item now has an answer on it. You'll see the pop-up in the bottom right of my screen with the answer and the question on it. So now that Adam has this, or he's aware of it, it will also come up as part of his window. You can see this time I didn't have to do a search because it's showing me the items assigned to my name. So Adam's job at this point is to just simply go into the question, make sure that he's okay with the answer, and resolve the issue once he feels it's finalized. So as an added bonus, these items will stay in your client's file for as long as you keep the client in the system, or the administrator can physically go in and delete any items that you no longer need to have in this list. So where this can also come in handy is, let's say you're having a disagreement with a client about a percentage of discount you agreed to about 4 months ago. So you've logged this on the client's file, and now they're trying to say that you gave them, or you agree to a bigger discount than what there actually is on your log here. So I can tell the program at any time, again, either I go into the advanced form in here or the bottom right and click the notepad icon. So I'm going to click the magnifying glass within the section I want to search for. And I'm going to say, okay, I've got the client here, this client on the phone. Now, it's possible that you don't care who entered the details. It's also possible that you don't care who, whether or not it's resolved, but you do care about the date range in question. So you can call up that time period from 4 months ago and maybe search for everything in that week. And once you run the search, 2 seconds later, you have everything that you talked about and logged on your client's file. So if they're trying to say that you agreed to 8% of a discount, but you actually agreed to 4, you'd see this in your list. And then you can very quickly just print this out. Most of you in your offices have the ability to print PDF, which will be part of your Windows system. So you can save it as PDF, email it to the client, and usually that will resolve your issue very quickly, because you don't want to spend time searching through piles and piles of paperwork. It gives your client leeway to argue with you, and you're too busy to deal with that kind of thing anyways. So this could be a much better and hopefully a system that saves you from some more difficult situations in the future.